So I'm Tom Rodden, I'm Deputy CEO of EPSRC, in charge of our research strategy and our relationships outside with all of our stakeholders. Really, we have balancing for two main reasons. The first of which is a responsibility to ensure that we deliver excellent science in the UK from limited resources. That means that we need to make sure that we are optimally using the resources that we have to deliver the absolutely best result. The UK is a world science leader by all statistics, and that's done with a budget which is significantly lower than the OECD average, and balancing is one of the ways in which we make that happen. Additionally, balancing is the means by which we understand our research portfolio and build a knowledge base about our research portfolio. And that knowledge base is really useful in informing our strategies going forward. By looking and balancing across the portfolio of us a whole, we create the space for action. We create the ability to respond to change and to be dynamic in how we address those things. So that means that internally, within our science base, if new discoveries need additional investment, we're able to respond rapidly. And externally, if there are particular pressures, we can respond to those as well. The outcomes of balancing allow us to continually reflect on the nature of our portfolio. So while we have a snapshot at a moment in time, those are open to kind of continual review. Within the rationales, within each of the elements in the balancing, there are stated strategic objectives, and so beyond thinking of these in terms of the labelled trajectories, there's quite a detailed set of objectives going forward. Those are open to continual review. Those are interpreted by our teams in terms of that, and as things alter and change, we would obviously reflect that in terms of those strategies, in terms of our picture across the capabilities as a whole.
The ICT theme approach to balancing capability was really to think in terms of the positions that we would have on individual research areas, the strategies that we should have for them, and also priorities that we should have that span research areas or even all ICT research areas. In terms of the ICT SAT meetings, the interaction with them on balancing goes back at least till 2015, probably beyond, particularly if you include the sort of more regular monitoring that we do of the portfolio. That there was a certain amount of work during the last delivery plan period, seeing how effective our strategies were, how effective our attempts to implement those strategies were. And then essentially there's a sort of evolution of that into our thought processes and analysis for this round of balancing capability. So the area of data analytics, or big data if you prefer, is one that spans the mathematical sciences theme, the digital economy theme, and the ICT theme. There are activities elsewhere, but that's the sort of centre of gravity spans those. So we held a cross ICT, SAT, Math SAT and Digital Economy Programme Advisory Board meeting to actually discuss this area. So we brought members from all of those advisory streams together to look at what the priorities were, what the situation was regarding our portfolio, and then that advice then flowed through into our thought process on different research areas that contribute to that. So that's how using those different advisory streams can contribute to themes actually being very joined up and actually considering part of the portfolio as a whole. If you look at the rationales for research areas, and I think you'll see this in the ICT research areas, you'll see that all research areas have something said that goes along the lines of saying we want more of this within the area, or we want an emphasis on that, or we want people in this research who work in this research area to collaborate with others in a certain research areas. And so balancing capability is about much more than just the top level of grow, maintain, reduce. That is important if we want to have increased strength or activity in certain areas. We need to actually make that clear, and I think we do make that clear. But even when we say we want to grow something, we're often saying we want to grow a particular flavour of research area, And even when we're wanting to reduce something, we're often stressing that we still want a strong portfolio in that area, that there'll still be considerable support. And we're often identifying the sort of work that we want to be prioritised within it.